Today I'm sitting down with Wayne Ruby, who ended the 2022 season #1 receiver in D3 football with receiving touchdowns and 5th in receiving yards. Wayne has broken several school records as well. Wayne stands at 6 foot, 191 pounds, and he's a sports business major. And don't y'all boys forget, we are
student athletes.
Now let's get into it. How you doing, Wayne?
Doing good. How are you?
I am wonderful. So, first question, what is your recruitment story?
My recruitment story. So, one offer that I did officially get was from the University of Stetson. I was committed there, but I was still getting talked to and looked at by other major universities. So, I didn't sign pen to paper with them. And then around that time, Mount Union popped up. They were a winning program. I just watched them play in that Stag Bowl that year, so it was kind of exciting for them to, come and recruit me. But that's just what, that's my recruitment story basically.
So, next question is, why did you choose Mount Union?
I chose Mount Union because the winning culture. Honestly, when it came down to it, I spoke with a lot of family members who knew about Mount Union, even though they were Division III, and it just seemed like the ideal and perfect route for me. They produce talent at my position, wide receiver, to go to the next level and play football. So it was just like a challenge I was willing to take. So that's it.
What was your first impression coming into Mount Union as a freshman?
As a a lot of people in my class took visits here. I didn't take any visit here. So when I said I was coming, I just came in here blind. So like reaction to everything, the community, it was just a different, aspect for me because, coming from down south, I drove 17 plus hours to get here. It was eye opening for me. I knew that I was gonna eventually have to grow up and be on my own and do things on my own. So it was eye opening for me, and I don't regret anything at all.
What's the jump or difference between Florida high school and Ohio college ball?
The jump from Florida high, everything back down south in Florida is football year round. It's either football or track. When you come, it's a drastic change solely on the game speed. College football is way faster than high school football. You're gonna have players that are as good as you or even better than you, so you have to come to work every day, consistency.
What's the difference, or how would you define the relationships you had with your teammates and coaches in high school versus college, and now talking to NFL scouts?
The relationship, in high school, those were guys that I actually grew up with. My teammates now that I met when I came to Mount Union, they're, I look at them as my brothers as well. So, there's no timeline on friendships. When you meet good people, you meet good people. And, those relationships can last for a while. I have friends now, my teammates now that, I look at, down the line, they can be at my wedding. So I would just say the difference in that, there is no difference. You make good friends, you make good friends. And then what was the second one?
The NFL scouts.
How was the relationship with them?
Yeah, like just the translation from all that.
And then as far as the translation from speaking with NFL scouts, honestly, it's a blessing first and foremost. Taking the Division III route, I knew there was going to be some type of challenge for me to make it at the next level because there's not that much people that get the opportunity to speak and have a relationship with NFL scouts. But honestly, it's cool. Like that's what I can describe it as. It's just cool. It's different. The guys they're doing their job, and they want to make sure who they're talking to potentially could be a star for their team one day. So it's interesting.
In 2019, you had 685 yards with 7 touchdowns in 12 games. During the COVID season, you had 557 yards with 9 touchdowns in 4 games. Then having a breakout season in 2021 with 105 receptions, 1,473 yards, and 13 touchdowns. I'm not even going to bring up the even better season you had in 2022, but what was your mindset going into that offseason following the 2021 season after such a great individual season?
Following the 2021 season?
Yeah, after that great individual season you had, what was your mindset going into that offseason before 2022?
Okay, so, the mindset, following that season was to be better than the last season. You always want to find one thing to work on. Not even one thing, anything you need to work on to improve your game, you do it. My mindset was to just dominate. every summer, I just want to take the time, just dominate and just be the best version that I can to, be able to be that playmaker for my team. So just dominate.
What was the most memorable game you played in? I know you mentioned in previous interviews it was the one with JCU, but then also after this Baldwin Wallace game last season. I just
Yeah.
wanted to re-ask that question.
So I have a couple most memorable games, but probably most likely would be the Baldwin Wallace game. That was a crazy game. Never thought you'll be. I mean, you see Hail Marys on Sports Center all the time. You never think you'll be a part of that, but just me being able to, make Sports Center alone was just crazy. That had to be the craziest memorable game, for sure.
Did you get any did any scouts reach out to you just from that catch? Like, did anyone reach out to you from that being on Sports Center?
I mean, they didn't reach out to me, but they did fly in to, have our regular meeting.
Who was your biggest role model?
I have a couple role models. Chris Chambers. I played for. He's an All-Pro. He was an All-Pro in the NFL for the Miami Dolphins and the San Diego Chargers. He played football at Wisconsin. And the reason being, he's a role model. Like I said, I didn't start a game of high school football until my senior year. And I played on his 7-on-7 team, and his 7-on-7 team was not like one of the most notable 7-on-7 teams. He welcomed me in, me and a couple other good players, but he led me in the right directions. He taught me a lot of things. He seen my potential when nobody else did. That's pretty much it.
And then what NFL receivers do you compare your game to?
I take a lot of notes on different guys: Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, Amari Cooper, Calvin Ridley. I could just go on, but I don't really model my game after them. I just, pick apart certain things that they do, how they run routes, and I just try to add it to my bag and add it to what I can do for me. So,
As we're going into your 6th year of eligibility, what is the most valuable lesson Mount Union football has taught you? You're old.
I would say to be consistent. One thing my coach has taught me, Jasper Collins, was if you want to be a pro, you have to act like a pro. You have to carry yourself like a pro, and that starts with consistency. Most pros, majority of pros, they're pros for a reason. They're able to go out there every day, and that's their job. So they go out there every day and work, and hold that spot, hold that job. So just be consistent.
What advice would you give younger you?
Always believe in yourself, even when things get rough. My freshman year, I had an injury, and I overcame that. When I was so young-minded during that time, I wanted to quit, and I had a lot of good people around me who didn't let me quit. And if I would have quit, I wouldn't be who I am today, or I wouldn't have known what I could have done during these times. So I'll just say never give up and just believe in yourself, 1,000%.
If you could do your football career over again, what would you have done differently?
I wouldn't do anything. I have no regrets, man. Coming to Mount U was the best decision for me. I have no regrets. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm a firm believer in that. So I feel as though, everything played out how it was supposed to, and I'm just thankful.
What are your future plans after this last season of eligibility?
My future plans, one, being able to, a lot of people want to make it to the next level, get to them.
What do you have to say to all the people who hate on D3 collegiate sports?
A lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about Division III sports. It's not much really, I get into with, honestly, because it doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect my team. But haters are gonna be haters. It's either you keep going or you let it affect you. So pick one.
Like that. And finally, last question. We came short in the Stag Bowl this last season. How are you going to prepare and push yourself along with the team differently than last season?
Like I said, what I would do differently, I wouldn't do anything differently. I'm just gonna, take it up a couple more notches. Like I said before, dominate each summer, getting on my other teammates, making sure they're doing what they need to do. Just being accountable and being, responsible enough to, know when the team is not practicing or performing at what the potential that we have as a group. We have a lot of guys returning, so just making sure that everybody's locked in and know what we're doing, and we have a mission because we fell short last season. So.
Wayne Ruby is living proof of making the best an opportunity and trusting the process. D3 guys can ball too. So Wayne, do you have any closing remarks, anything you want to say before we close out?
Yes. Believe in yourself. Even if you feel like no one believes in you, believe in yourself. You can do it. That's pretty much it.
Sure. Thank you, Wayne.